there's a lot of us against them. There's a lot of negativity that's going on in the world right now as a whole. And I think that us meaning people who, I guess in some plane you could say we have a maybe an open mind to more possibilities, or like we don't take like shut things out. I think it's up to us to I'm definitely wouldn't say turn the other cheek, but more so like the way I see it, if I try to take a step back, I could see myself being like, oh, you wear a mask, you're a sheep. And then the mask wearers could say, oh, you don't wear a mask, you're a piece of shit, conspiracy theorist. And then it just
Right.
becomes a rhetoric of like, fuck you, nah, fuck you, nah, fuck you, nah, fuck you. And it's like, what we gotta do is step back and be like, I guess attempt the best way that we can. We're all human, but try to be somewhat understanding, so we don't look as them at them as the enemy, and they can hopefully one day not look at us as the enemy. Because if you just put the finger up to put the finger up to a group, they're not going to listen to you. They're not going to open up the ears. They're going to be like, or even if they were completely wrong, they're going to be like, all right, well, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to want to listen. So that's not an intelligent way to go about it. I think that there's a lot of separation right now. And now more than ever, what we need as humans is to realize, it's like that person wearing a mask is like, they got a brain inside of their head just like me. Like maybe it makes them feel more comfortable. We could share our ideas, and maybe I'll find out some stuff that I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're wrong. Who's to say? We got to really keep an open mind, because us thinking that we have open minds, you never know when you're the one who has the lacking information. And I'm not saying we are the ones. I'm saying like we don't know, and the only way to try to avoid that is have a broad understanding of the topic at hand.
Yeah, definitely not dehumanizing the other side. I always empathize with people. I mean, the only time I ever get worked up is when someone is overtly rude to me or someone else, and that's just been the reality from the beginning. And so I'm never rude to somebody that decides they want to wear a mask, or I try not to, or I don't be roasting fools, or I'm trying to like, oh, you cheat, blah blah. Nah, I don't do that shit, man. I try to empathize with them and be nice. And my main goal when I meet anyone is I want them to feel better than when they first met talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I want people to feel good when they walk away from me and stuff. So I don't ever want to put people down, man. But yeah, of course we gotta like try to empathize with people and treat people good and make them happy.
The thing is with me is like I understand this. I truly do. That we have to keep an open mind and empathize with people and see where they're coming from, and take a spot in their shoes and understand. But when it comes to the government, I truly believe there's so much proof out there that they have literally lied to us about so many things. So why is this any different, especially on such a global scale? I don't understand why there is nothing, like, how can you think there's nothing behind this? And to fully oblige to their control and their orders, and this literally affects people's lives. So many businesses, so many people have lost everything they've worked for in their lives. And just to be like, oh, I guess it's for the better. I guess it's for my own, it's for the better. Like, no, you have to take a stand. It comes to a point where you have to truly understand that shit is going on, and we have to get to the bottom of this. We can't just keep following everything they tell us. Like I said before, like what they're gonna tomorrow be like, you have to walk on all fours all day because the virus is floating at a certain level. Like, okay, yeah, and then what is that? There's no line, you know what I mean? We're gonna keep doing things they want us to do. Man, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
they
Yeah, I
said
get
it was
worked
gonna
up
be.
about this too, but like, it's just honestly, I'm also like, it affects my personal life and it affects my family and the people I love. Like, it affects their lives. So how can I not have some type of emotion and intimate feeling about this? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. You try to more people got to take responsibility and realize that shit is kind of backwards right now, and you just got to get your own information and be a skeptic. I think that's what I would encourage. Be a skeptic. It doesn't mean you got to believe. You got to believe shit. Just be skeptical of the television. At the very least, be skeptical of these billion-dollar conglomerates that are selling us fear and selling us their pharmaceutical products. That's something we could all agree on, whether it's the left or the right. And every issue, they always try to paint it as a left or right issue, and that is not healthy. That's separating people, and they do that on purpose, dude. It's not by accident. Everything is like, it's not even a left and right issue. It's like, that's a human issue. It's a human issue. These conglomerates, these billion-dollar conglomerates that are selling this fucking garbage every day, man. You look at the TV and you're watching the news, all the advertisement is pharmaceutical companies. You think they don't have conflicts of interest? It's fucking nuts, man. But I think more and more people are waking up, dude, and more people are coming together, and more people are starting to look at people on the left, people that are on the right. They're looking at people on the left as friends, and people on the left are seeing people on the right as friends, you know, and that's good. That's the most important thing. All this shit of dehumanize the other side, that's very, very dangerous, and it's very, very stupid. You know, it's not good. The fucking, oh, fuck Trump supporters or fuck the libtards and all that. That's not good, dog. We can't be talking like that. You know, I don't really like that shit, and I don't really encourage that type of conversation whenever I hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, like, the way the system's set up, like you said, it's either left or right, but no one is either this or that. It's not like when you choose that, let's say that I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican, that I agree wholeheartedly with that entire field. Like, I might want some of this, a little bit of that, and some of this. I wish it could be possible for a politician who's running for office to just come in and be like, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm somebody who wants. But if you do that, you kind of immediately get shut out, and it sucks because that's like the most natural human thing, is to have not inconsistencies, but like a mix of how you think. You're not just like one way, because at the end of the day, Republicans, they have some good ideas. Democrats, they have some good ideas. They both also have some bad ideas. Why can't we just admit that instead of saying like, oh, you're this, immediately bad, or oh, if you're not this, you're immediately bad? It's like, it sucks. And what's crazy is that we're us three, we're not the only humans who think this. I'm sure almost everyone, if you were to tell them this, they'd be like, yeah, but like, it's almost as if like, all right, so almost everybody thinks this, so why is it this way? And it's like, why do you, or like you like the pharmaceutical industries, they fund the CDC, the World Health Organization. They're the ones who are telling us to take this and take that. They make billions of dollars. You don't think that they're at least in some minimal way trying to finesse you into taking something so they can keep making their money? You know, like, even if you're
Of
just
course.
selling a t-shirt, you want to finesse people into thinking that thing's cool enough to buy it. Like, so just with that mentality on a higher scale, it just only makes sense that they're going to be doing it. Maybe not like mind control. Maybe it is mind control. Maybe it's not. But what I'm saying is, like, they're doing, like, they're, it just wouldn't, you'd have to be completely naive to not think that they're doing something. Like, if we know that the masks don't necessarily stop corona, why is the focus on that? Why? It doesn't make any sense.
Why
Why?
mask? Yeah, because it's a visual symbol that lets you know that this shit is still here and you should still be terrified of it. And even fucking Bill Gates have said we ain't gonna be able to take the mask off till they have a vaccine. Who the fuck is Bill Gates? That fool got sued by the American government, dude, in the fucking 2000, 2001. And then people, I post some shit and they're like, oh, that's some just crackpot doctor. And why are you listening to him? And I'm like, who are you listening to, fool? You're listening to Bill Gates. What the fuck? What's his degree in? What's his degree in, you know? Oh man, people like wake the fuck up, but more people are waking, man. It makes me, and you know what's interesting to me is that so many women are the ones that are standing up, dude, because their parents and they're looking out for their kids and they're like, wait, what the fuck? And they do research and then they start their own Instagram thing and they try to inform the public. And that's really like, it makes me feel really good, you know? But where the hell are the men at though? Where the hell are the men that are going to stand up for their children? Where are the men that are going to stand up for actually having a strong informed opinion and trying to shed some light to the world? And man, it's so crazy how you were saying there's so many naive people, and it seems like the most naive people are the ones that are most vocal, you know? And most people that have common sense, they have common sense and they keep it to themselves. But we're getting to the point where people that have common sense and have a little bit of information are going to have to like speak up, man. We're getting to the point in this fucking story of the world right now where people are going to have to speak up and stand up and empathize with people and be kind to people, but at the same time, say what's on your mind. Say what's on your mind. A lot of people don't do that. Messages every, I love what you're doing. I love what you're saying. I wish I could say that. Why do you wish you could say that? Just say it, man. Just say it, you know?
Yeah, there's a quote from, I think it's Lao Tzu, and he's just like, "Man who knows doesn't speak." But it's about time the man who knows should be speaking, especially like there's a negative connotation that goes along with like using Instagram a lot. But it's like, why? You could really use that to you could end up blowing up, have millions of followers, and put out a lot of useful information, useful ideas, inspiring things. It doesn't have to be used for as an outlet for your selfies, or as an outlet to be like, oh, look at my newest fit. It doesn't have to be used for materialism or selling anything. It could be used for anything you want. It's social media. It's supposed to be social. We're interacting with other human beings in a very, very, very powerful way, where one post could be seen by, like, you have more power now in terms of just having the cell phone on you, in terms of the knowledge you could acquire, in terms of how many people you could reach with just one cell phone, that probably they did when TVs were first around for the first 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, we have so much power, and we shouldn't use this idea. Like, we shouldn't think, oh, but being on Instagram too much is corny. Yo, who cares? That's like, there's a lot of ideas I've noticed that, like, I feel like it's like cool to think that, like, it's cool to be like, ah, Instagram's corny, I'm not on that much. All right, I understand, but you have to also realize that it's a tool. It's a tool that we can use. You know, all of our new inventions, when they first were invented, people are like, yo, that's insanity. Books, people are going to lose their memory. A computer, no one's, someone was quoted for saying like, oh, a computer, I doubt, highly doubt that will ever be used by anyone. We always are doubting these things.
Yeah.
It's just it's skepticism, and I understand it, but it's like, we should be, like I said, open-minded to the fact that things such as social media are extremely powerful tools. There's a lot of people who are using them uh, to their advantage, and, you know, spreading positive messages. But then there's a lot of people who are just like, yo, man, it doesn't have to be a corny thing. You could use it for amazing purposes, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
and even saying very like spreading information and knowledge, a lot of times it starts getting dark and you're like, damn, dude, it seems like you're just giving me bad news. And so it's very important that if you're going to be a person that wants to spread knowledge, that you balance it out with trying to figure out to not just point out problems, but offer real solutions. And so a lot of people are really good at pointing out problems, but they ain't giving you good solutions, you know. And then sometimes they give you solutions that are not good, not beneficial, you know. And so we got to be very careful of that, you know, because then
yeah.
people stop fucking with you because you're like, damn, all I'm getting is negative shit from you, and I don't want it every day, you know.
Yeah, it's really it's weird to say, but I guess it's like, it's very similar to human interaction in the sense that, you know, when you talk to someone, you talk, they talk, you come up with some conclusion. You don't just talk for 3 hours straight without them saying a word back. You have to know how to socialize. You know, you got to know social cues. You got to know the way you say things and the way they're going to take it. And it's the same thing online. You don't just post 4 million stories. Yo, people are only going to see the first two, and then they're going to be like, I'm over it. So you got to be
Yeah.
smart. Just how when you interact with a human, you look them in the eyes, you tell them this. If you're going to say things, it's not just what you say, but how you say it. Same thing online. We got to understand that. It's hard though, because all the social media, it's not in our nature. It's like an invented thing. So of course we don't. It's not in our genes or DNA to know immediately how to use this. We're just chimp people with these new inventions, like typing whatever we want, having fun, like looking up whatever we want. It's just like, it's our chimp brain taking over. But it comes a point where you got to use your rationale and be like, all right, I know what I want to say. Am I saying it the best way possible so that it actually has its purpose? Or am I just like, oh my God, yo, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely craftsmanship involved as well. You know, it's just like any other craft. Being able to, and I would say social interactions are the same thing, human to human. Being able to have a conversation, being able to have a good conversation is craftsmanship as well. You know, and so being on social media is craftsmanship, and I think it's important for all of us to learn how to develop that. And I'm still learning myself. You know, sometimes I go in too hard, and I feel like I'm coming off too snarky or too aggressive or too mean, and I got to tone it down, and I got to like reevaluate my approach all the time, you know. So I'm constantly still doing that, but I'm gonna keep talking about some real shit and trying to keep an open mind and keep being able to change my mind and having a more moderate approach to what I'm saying, you know, what I'm trying to say out there.
Yeah. I think a big part of it is like vulnerability and speaking your voice nowadays, because if people need anything, it's a true leader. Like, me personally, I don't see the presidents or these businessmen or like these leaders so called in office as leaders. We need something more personal. We need something that somebody that really talks about what's going on, because people, yeah, they want something. Everybody feels this deep down, that something's wrong, that we're not living to our full potential, that something's off, but they're so used to their daily routine, and nobody's talking about this. Nobody wants to talk about this because you become like a black sheep. You get looked at weird. Nobody wants to feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It takes a
Yeah,
certain level of kicking your ego at the door to know that it's for the better to speak about these things. Like
yeah, man.
you even
And I,
said when you made your music, you used to just write the lyrics. You weren't even like really into the beats themselves. You just wanted to get your message across. And that's what we
yeah,
need, man. We need people to speak what is going on. It's not even about the coronavirus or about them controlling us. It's about getting in touch with our humanity, getting back to being vulnerable, loving, sharing a connection, community, like really being tight with each other, and not just small talk and like, things that don't matter. We need to talk about things that people feel every day, because when you start talking to people about these things, they literally start crying because they've been holding this deep inside their whole lives and nobody's been talking to them about this. Like, it's insane.
yeah. Everybody starts off by trying to save the world, and they haven't even met their neighbor. They haven't even said, "How are you going to save the world if you can't even say hi to your next door neighbor?" G, you don't even know your next door neighbor's name, and you're trying to save someone in fucking Istanbul or Syria or fucking start local.